What's up, guys? jackrippzz back here with another video coming at you at the Horoscope 101 channel. Basically this week is TV Horror Week, and I have to say, and I hate to admit, but I don't own very many TV horror series and or made-for-TV horror movies. For some reason, I've never been the biggest fan of TV horror, although I do enjoy some. Of course, the basics. I enjoy them, but for the most part, there are a lot that I don't enjoy, and it's just one aspect, in my endeavor of collecting horror stuff that I've not really gone over to yet. Now, there are some things that I definitely want to collect. Of course, Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Dark Side and all that stuff, but there's a lot of things that I could really care less to have in my collection. And there's a couple, made-for-TV horror movies that I definitely want in my collection, but there's a few that, it doesn't really matter if they are in my collection or if they aren't in my collection. Of course, if I come across anything at a good price, I'm going to buy it up. But for the most part, TV horror for me is on the back burner as of right now. But the one series that I couldn't pass over was the Hammer House of Horror series. Now, this can be a little pricey online. But if you can find it fairly cheap every now and then, I have to say the Synapse release compared to the other release, I believe it's A&E. I have both. I'm actually missing one volume from the other one, but it's the exact same stuff. Basically about the same kind of transfers from what I can tell. But the Hammer House of Horror series is a mixed batch of short horror stories. For the most part, they're pretty decent. There's a couple, like the Witching Hour is a pretty good one that I liked on there. All the other ones, you're not going to remember them. They're not going to be, imprinted on the inside of your brain forever. But they are good if you're bored, you're wanting something fresh, something you haven't seen, you throw them in and enjoy yourself. Besides that, it's not the best series out there. It's not the most entertaining series, but it gets the job done. I enjoy it. Like I said, there's a few in there that I really do like, and there's a few that as soon as it went on to the next story or the next episode, I just kind of forgot. But with that being said, I do recommend it. I do recommend picking it up. The Synapse release, like I said before, is a pretty awesome release. You get one DVD case, but it is, I don't know if you can see that there, but it is packed full of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disc. And I have to say that, I was definitely pleased to get this for $10. I got the other set, which is, it comes in a box set, but I actually bought volumes 1, 2, and 4 individually, and I ended up paying all together like $2 and some change for them. And they're pretty expensive online. Not real expensive, but a little pricey for what they are. But like I said before, if you can get these at a good cost, definitely grab them up. They definitely look good. You have Christopher Lee in a couple of the episodes. I think 1 or 2 episodes he's in. Peter Cushing, I do believe, is in a couple, or at least one, if I can remember correctly. It's been a while since I've watched all of these. I had actually bought this series thinking that I hadn't seen it before, and once I put it in, I realized I had seen it before. So I didn't rewatch them, but I did kind of scan through all the discs to make sure they all played right, and noticed the transfer on both releases were pretty much the same. The Snaps looked a little bit crisper, but it is what it is. But like I said, I do recommend that. Now, a couple of TV horror shows that I recommend that I don't own myself, but I will own in the future. Of course, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I think that's one of the best all-time TV horror series, or kind of mystery thrillers as well, depending on what episode it is. The original Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt. Let's see. I don't know if you guys remember an old, I don't know if you really consider it horror because it's more of a child thing, but there used to be a show that used to come on ABC Family called Teen Wolf, and it's not the one that comes on now, that comes on Fox or whatever it comes on. I don't watch a whole lot of TV now, but back when I was probably 10 or 11, somewhere around that age, it came on. It was called Teen Wolf, and it was, or no, not Teen Wolf, Big Wolf on Campus. Big Wolf on Campus, and it was a really good TV show. I mean, you know, it was kind of cheesy and fun, but it had a lot of throwbacks to a lot of the classic horror stuff, and I really enjoyed it, especially as a young kid. There's a few other ones, but off the top of my head, I'm just kind of going dull, going blank. But like I said, TV horror is not my biggest subgenre of horror. It's not something I've, you know, thrived and, you know, strived to, you know, learn a lot about, or, you know, watch everything I can as far as that's concerned. But being a horror enthusiast, you know, I will watch anything that's put in front of me. It's just I haven't went out of my way to find and track down some of the old stuff. Now, I will say that Tales from the Crypt is probably my all-time favorite TV horror series. You know, pretty basic stuff. Can't really go wrong with it. Now, a couple that I have been wanting to check out, which I don't know if you put Dexter in the horror subgenre, but I do. Serial killers, you know, I kind of consider that kind of horror, but it's, you know, mostly thriller, but it's got horror elements to it. And I haven't watched not one episode of Dexter, so I definitely want to change that. I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, but it's the truth. But anyways, that's this video, guys. I hope it's sufficient enough. Sorry I didn't get it uploaded yesterday. I was having some technical difficulties, and I had to re-record the video, and, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, Hammer, House of Horrors, this Snaps release, definitely pick it up if you get a chance. Definitely worth buying. You know, like I said, hit and miss on the episodes. Some are great, some not so good, some forgettable, some are memorable. You know, it's a mixed bag for sure. For sure. Definitely the first disc in the Snaps release is the strongest. The first 3 episodes are the strongest out of the entire series, in my opinion. They all kind of get a little more weak from there. Especially, you know, when you have the Hammer label attached to it, you have high expectations, because most, you know, classic Hammer movies are, you know, really good and classic movies, and, you know, the TV series just kind of falls short of that. But then again, you know, it is what it is. So anyways, that's that video, guys. Like I said, I hope this is sufficient enough for you guys. You know, it's kind of a subgenre that I'm not real familiar with as of right now. Maybe that'll change in the future, maybe it won't. But anyways, this is Jack Rippz. Peace.